meetings to share and spread new information on water. It's exciting that so much research is coming out. So we want to bring that out. And these water salons are meeting rooms, literally reception rooms where we receive more knowledge. And the other aspect of a salon always is to meet the other people, who's in the room and who's doing what. And we always take time to open up the floor so we can have a chance to meet each other. Again, don't be afraid. If you see someone here, use the chat to say, hi, I've always wanted to meet you, or what are you doing that's interesting? And we really want to link everybody up. And that is the great work of Dr. Everin Vanderkratz and the World Water Community. That's the whole purpose, is what's going on in water? And these salons in particular. And so thank you, Everin, for hosting this, for creating the webinars, for posting them on YouTube so we have access to a replay every time. And that just makes us, more powerful and spreads this great news on water. So, and of course, not of course, but I'm Gina Bria from the Hydration Foundation. We work in collaboration and partnership with Everin and the World Water Community. And again, our purpose here is simply to present some new interesting things, finding out about water that's going on from all our networks coming in and how we can share that, and then to meet each other, support each other, help each other be more hydrated and more being lofted up in our work and our beings, our actual physical health. So we promised to talk again, a second part. There'll probably be a third part into an infinity on water in the body. And water in the body is such an interesting topic, and reducing it to helping us to look at what's going on inside of us is potent, because as we understand how water works inside a human, um, we get the benefit of that for our own health and our own longevity and our own work, because water is fueling all our mental capacity to share about water as well. I wanted to bring up the focus again on fascia and what that is all about. So I'm going to open our time together. We'll just take a 20-minute kind of precis about what this new information is on water inside the body. And then we'll take a 20-minute time to think together, and then a short little time for ritual practice at the end. So lots to take care of to run our salon today. We only go for about 45 minutes, not to make it too onerous. Some people try to keep it short. So today I wanted to reintroduce the fascia film that you may have seen last time. We're going to let it run a little bit longer this time so we have a chance to really see with our eyes. And then I'm going to bring in some information that we're finding about fascia. So Everin, if you wouldn't mind sharing the screen and putting on, it's a 2-minute video. It's very exciting. Every time I see this film, I get jacked up again, enthused. This allows you to actually see living fascia. It's from a documentary by Dr. Jean-Claude Chimbarteau, who's now one of our colleagues and has given us permission to use and spread his film and his work in any old way we want, because he wants us to help spread his work. So he allows us to use this film and to share more information as fascia comes out. So Everin, we're going to watch this film for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to come in and do a very short overview of some of the new information on fascia. Thank you, Everin. Oh, do we run into a bump? Maybe that's what happened to us last time. You know, it's okay because we've seen enough, right? And I think
I can also try to start it again, but
no, I
yeah.
think we're good. I think we should use our time well. And some people have seen it, but um, it, every time I see it, I see a little bit something different than I've seen before. And again, I really would love to draw your attention to those droplets of water actually flowing through the tubes, right? We see that hydration is actually taking place in liquid form, so those dewdrops of water, but also that the stretchy material, the tubes that are there, and then the tissue that is congealed or conglomerated is present. And this video really helps us to see how many forms of water fascia actually is. So right now, when you hear people talk about fascia, they're not really identifying all the different forms of fascia. And today, what I really want to bring to us is how the purpose of this talk is how a song, how sound is going to be part of our hydration strategy, and why we widen our strategies for hydration beyond guzzling liquids alone. So this is a very important conversation, because if you get that what we've just seen, if you sort of think of it as guitar strings, then you're going to see that this jiggling, that vibration jiggles the fascia. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but just for opening this conversation and helping people think about fascia is it's there, it's multi-formed in there. It's polymorphic. So poly, if you take that word apart, poly means many, morphic means shapes or forms. So the very first conversation about fascia should help us realize, yes, it's the irrigation system, but how it's doing it is absolutely fantastic and interesting. It's polymorphic, many shapes. We saw all those shapes. We saw the tube shape, we saw the tissue shape. All of those are, and then you can actually tear the fascia apart. It will split and then it will rejoin. That polymorphism is why you are able to actually even move, but also how your body functions in these many uh, forms. Why you have fingers plus an ear plus a brain plus a liver. This is all polymorphic shapes taking place under the care or the, the shaping of fascia. And that's one polymorphic. It's metaphasic. Meta meaning many are different, and then phasic meaning it itself going through many phases. As we're watching that film, you're actually watching uh, 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 not just the material form of the fascia, but all the different shapes it's taking, but uh, the viscoelasticity of it. The elasticity of it is based on the viscosity of it. In other words, how well hydrated it is. And now this film is brilliant at showing us how many forms water is taking. Now, on top of that, it's piezoelectric. So you're watching an electrical system. We're not able to see the electricity pass through it, but you can kind of follow that it's an electrical grid and that it's taking all these different forms. And then the final, not the final, is just another, because I don't know if we're going to find out everything that fascia is in our lifetime, but I want you to think about what we saw on that film as a solvent. it's also dissolving particles. And if it's a solvent and a dissolver, what's on the other side of dissolving things is a new construction. It's now coming out of the solvent, a different or reconstructed as a new material, more purified, more able to conduct electricity. So I'm trying to help us unpack what the heck we're seeing there and how many things it's doing at once. But to the specific conversation today, getting the idea that that you're jiggling that thing when you move, you're jiggling that electric guitar line, and this is happening in many ways. But the way I want to talk about it today is the pressure waves that grow and shape, that elongate and bloom these molecules. These waves activate the different receptors found throughout the fascia. So these different receptors are embedded in all of that white material we saw. And they're oscillating. So let's just say, for example, at 60 hertz, the oscillation creates a pressure wave that widens those gaps in between the strings you saw, the interfascial gap. When that happens, what a molecule is activated, a biomolecule called hyaluronic acid, and that flows into those spaces. And hyaluronic acid is known to bind water to molecules. So you're literally, by a pressure wave of 60 hertz, activating a molecule, a biomolecule, to draw even more water into those spaces. I mean, this is interesting now because we get to talk about sound or frequencies, hertz, oscillations, doing biomolecular organization. And one of the most important biomolecules in our tissue areas is this hyaluronic acid, which binds water, brings in more water molecules, which allows the fascia to become even more hydrated. And we have some preliminary studies. They're not done in the body, they're done in modeling, but they're looking at between 15 hertz to 60 hertz, creating these pressure waves to open the interstitial space that grows hyaluronic acid, drawing further water into the molecules. So this is a way to talk about hydrating using sound. And the thought right now is that it's more effective than stretching, that it's faster to get rehydrated through exposure to vibration oscillations than it is to do the stretching work that we watched on that film. This is really interesting stuff. And I just kind of follow this with these different sensory endings located within the fascia. They respond to lower frequencies, this 15 to 60 range. Specifically, we've been able to identify these endings called the Merkel endings. They're little special receptors between 5 and 80 hertz. And the Meissner receptors, this push-pull wave that grows and lengthens the hyaluronic molecule. But higher frequencies don't seem to stimulate those particular endings. So other frequencies do that. I think they're called the Pacinian endings. I certainly can research this further, and I should put the link to some of this science research down in the link for us. I might have to do that next week. But what I'm trying to say is that sound can organize water molecules specific sites within the fascial structure to hydrate more completely and more long lasting than just stretching itself, even though stretching does its own motion. So I'm just identifying for us that there's more than one way to hydrate. Drinking, of course, eating, moving, exposure to sun, grounding, and then we can specifically talk about sound as oscillations that create some kind of magic all within our fascia. So I am sure that if let's put it this way, it allows us to say that a song is more hydrating than a stretch or a cup of water. Or maybe a way to say it is that it more quickly allows us, so that the sound and vibration now needs to come in to the hydration conversation in a big way. So that was a lot. I'm sure we have questions about that. I'm sure let's open the floor to think together about ways in which we can begin to use sound and song as part of our hydration strategy.
Do you know, Gina, if any kind of sound, or there is a specific sound that helps to hydrate and others perhaps doesn't help to hydrate? It depends on the oscillation and frequency. And how are you seeing all this? Because it's a new world about sound and oscillation. So how can we move into this world focusing in hydration?
Yes, so I'm at our end on the practice. I'm going to share in the chat some specific songs because I do identify low frequency, and that between 15 and 60 hertz are doing something with the specific biomolecule of hyaluronic acid. It's really hard for me to say that word. I'm just going to call it HA, so you know what I'm talking about. But I'd love to line up today's conversation with the new research that's coming out on bird song, and how the morning chorus or the dawn chorus, it's called, the bird songs, are actually having an effect on plants and trees to what is that called? It begins with an ST. Oh, my dyslexia is really showing up today. I should have had a song before I got on. The bird songs are opening up this tree stems and tree and plant stems that allow them to access more light. That it's the sound of the birds which opens these areas on
Stoma, you mean?
Stoma. Thank you. Woohoo! Yes, so bird songs, we can see from plant biologists, are saying, oh my God, bird songs are opening stoma at the beginning of the day to be able to receive more sunlight. So once we get like, oh my God, we are in the most delicious, incredible system. And this system is working in many more ways than we think. We're just so linear that it's this thing that happens, that this molecule does that. Multiple things are happening, just like our fascia, this opening conversation, that it's polymorphic, it's a solvent, it's a constructor, it's conducting electricity, it's conducting sound and oscillations. Just what? I mean, how are we not, we don't know this about ourselves, but how are we not like finding, if we find this out, our ability to enjoy that knowledge, to let it further inform how we're going to move into each of the decades of our life, so we know what kind of hydration is necessary for, or let's say for this conversation, Maria, what kind of songs are available for each of our decades to be well hydrated. If you think about, my daughter just had a brand new baby, just hitting 3 months. The singing, the talking, that baby's acquiring, because of course their fascia is even more fluid than ours. What are babies like 75% water, something ridiculous. So yes, these lower oscillations or lower frequency sounds seem to be activating specific biomolecules. At least we're kind of getting ready to say that. And that's the news for this salon. And it lines up with the plant and bird song. And what was it? Everin Stoma? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now we have this work of John Stewart Reed showing low frequency impact on blood senescence, or the shape and change of the blood cells as they go from as they go into decay, and how low frequency beats and sounds seem to bring back more life force for those blood cells. Do you know his work, Maria, on the blood cell studies?
Yes, yes, I've heard him. I don't know, in a lecture or something, talking about it, and it's very, very interesting. Yes.
Well, this is just another confirmation of what he's doing from another direction, right?
Yes.
Of being able to say frequencies are having a pressure effect, not only on the blood but also on the fascia. So we're just confirming, oh, this is happening all over the body. And then the higher frequencies seem to be affecting other receptors that are all embedded in the fascia. Like, it's too bad that video that we saw, we can't get a visual of what's in those beautiful strings, and that tissue pulsing is full of all kinds of receptors and nerve endings. And I wish we could get that, but I don't think we have the camera work to get down to that level yet. So it looks clear, but it's full of stuff in there, nerve endings, etc. Yeah. Any other comments, thoughts? This is pretty interesting, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah. Makes sense.
It does. It does make a kind of intuitive sense. We know
Yes.
that when we hear music, we respond. We can feel our body responding somehow.
On the
And
other hand, yes, but on the other hand, when
Mhm.
we are receiving too much information like traffic sounds, or this kind of disorder
Right.
sound, it's affect us in a very deep level. Sometimes I'm very confused when I have to go to São Paulo, for example, for doing something. It's a big city and with a lot of noise, and it brings me some kind of I don't know. I'm not clear in my mind. I began to be confused, and I need some quiet and silence to recover from that.
Yes.
Yes, because
In,
it affects very deeply
Mhm.
my way of being, right? So it's difficult. On the other hand, this kind of sound that sometimes we can't avoid. I don't know.
Yeah.
This modeling study that I'm sharing uh, made a point of the fact that it's easy to overdose on low frequency, that after a certain amount of time, the HA is not released. Now, again, these are model studies, so they're done by computers to see how it would actually work. And I'll get the references for that. We'll stick it in the show notes or whatever we're going to do. But they also identified the high frequencies turning on, flipping on things inside the fascia that while it's good for one receptor, so we want that range, after a while, it's also, let's say, innervating. Let's use that word, that it has an impact. And what you're saying is you're probably well hydrated. When you're well hydrated, your receptors are even more available to sensory perception, right? They're picking it up more strongly, let's say it that way. And so now that you have this information, Maria, you're able to like choose how to dial it down for yourself. So one of the things I'm doing, and I just, Everin, I just sent it to you in your WhatsApp, but I'm bringing us a low frequency soundtrack that we can have on our phones, right? Or wherever on our computers to dial down these other oscillations that can be overwhelming.
Do you want to show it now, or should I?
Yeah, drop it in the chat so everybody can find it. Is that possible, Everin? I
Yeah,
sent
or
it.
should I just show it like the other one
Yeah, it's not a
video?
soundtrack, so we don't want to listen to it. I wanted you to be able to leave today having,
Oh, okay. I just
right?
thought maybe. Okay, can we listen to it now?
Yeah, you want
Is
to
it
just get a taste of it. Okay, I think you get the sense of all that can bring down.
So I stopped it, but do
That's
you
fine.
hear it?
If you drop it in the chat, I want everybody to have that so
Yeah,
they
it's in the chat. It's in the chat.
great.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so I also got another one for us that and
Okay.
by the way, I use this a lot. I find it's more and more I'm finding that I'm going to find sometime in my day, even if it's the last thing in the evening, to put on earphones or just open up my phone and turn it on so it's filling my space. That it is having a big impact on my resilience, having a big impact on my sleep. It's having a big impact on this sense of knowing what to do with the kind of world that we're in right now. Like I know how to dial where I want to go with this, and uh, this all started because I found this low frequency playlist this 20-minute playlist that I'm sending to you because I heard that and I was like, why is that doing what it's doing? Why? So I went to try to find out how is the finding out that it was related to fascia got me all, you can see how excited I am.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I already knew John's work on the blood, but this is like, okay, fascia is such an important part of who we are and how we actually are going to be able to manage this crazy world that we live in right now. So I wanted everyone to have that. And then I have another one I just sent to Everin. If you want to drop that second, it's a 20-minute. It's called a power nap. And what's nice about this is that it's a different set. It's a broader range of frequencies, and it's set to music that also is set up in such a way that all you have to do is turn it on and it sends you into, it's oscillating at certain brain waves and it sends you into a very beautiful state. So I use this as a rest period in my day or week. And what I love about it is it has a little alarm at the end, but it's just a nice set of bells. So you don't have to worry about what time it is. You don't have to like, I better set my alarm. You just put this thing on and go lay as flat as you want, put pillows under your knees, just get yourself totally relaxed under your neck if you want, put a pillow, roll up a towel, and let this thing take you away, and then it will bring you back. And it will, almost literally every time I do this, I am ready for the next whatever. But my brain capacity, I should have listened to it before today. But I notice a very big difference, and I know it's really effective. So that's called a 20-minute power nap, but it's the perfect amount of time. I've tried the 30-minute ones, and they annoy me because I don't need 30 minutes.
I got your list, but it's like a link to all the search results. So there's 20-minute power naps, a lot of them. So before I share that one, I'd rather have the one that you recommend.
Right. Let's see. So I have to find that one directly.
The specific one, yeah, maybe you know
Okay.
the.
While I'm looking, let's hear from anybody else. What other kinds of what is it? Do you like knowing that a song is as hydrating as a cup of water or a stretch?
I like it. Definitely. You've been saying it all along that music is very important. And of course, I know that that's a lot of treatments can be helpful nowadays with sound. I mean, Eric who just mentioned that he couldn't join, he's treating people with sound. So definitely very interesting, and even some inaudible sounds because you go as low as 15 hertz. It's fascinating. Don and Diane also say it's fascinating. They can't turn on audio or video, but they.
Oh, right. I remember they have that. Hi, Don. Hi, you, Diane. I think you both were at the water conference, right? So you may have met Maria there, but becoming colleagues like this online beyond just the annual event that we have there is really, really great. So here we are meeting each other. Okay, I'm sending this to you, Everin.
Okay.
I think this is a better version.
Okay, let me wait for your. This is a specific one. Yeah.
Okay.
I will share that with people.
So we have just a little time left, which is great. And I wanted us to do a practice together because, and of course, I'm sending you music. I know that I'm not meaning to undermine movement as a strategy when Don and Diane work with dance and continuum and how important movement is in terms of fascial stretching. I'm just trying to offer okay, we have so many ways and we should be using them all, right? Of course, we're going to drink a cup of water. Of course, we're going to use watermelon and cucumber and bone broth. And of course, we're going to stretch. So I just wanted to end our time together with a little ritual stretch and some coupled with some sound, so that we have a chance to get up and move and have a piece of music going with this, because we should be having fun together, right? So let me just figure out how to pull this this song up online. Maybe we'll be all able to hear it.
And if it's like a YouTube, I can also show it.
Yeah. Okay. It's you know what? Let me send it to you by YouTube, because that will be fun. Then everybody will have it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a song about jiggling. That's why I got to find the specific one. Where is that? I'm sorry. I should have found this earlier. I think I have the name wrong. Well, I thought it was called Twitter.
Okay. Jitter.
Maybe it's called Jiggle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My brain is fried from all the conferences I've been to and all the things I had. But I think we'll just put on a little something that is up in the same range, um, that 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 plays this jiggly music, right? Okay. Okay, I'm sending it to you. Thank you for your patience, everybody. It's been a wild ride these last few days, and a lot of things are happening on the earth, and we should be grateful for the kinds of things that are coming out. And we don't know when the next water conference will be. We don't know if we're going to have a chance to all gather again because we really want that to happen. But I think I think if we keep on meeting like this and sharing our information and our replays with each other, I think that's what we really need to be happening so that people are aware that our thoughts, our our language, and let's stand up and do this. Okay, forget the music because it's taking it's too difficult. But let's stand, and I will just lead us through a little version of what I was going to do to music. Okay.
Yeah, because you didn't send anything. That's right,
I
right?
did. I was trying to talk and send at the same time.
Okay.
Well, the first thing I want us to do is put our hands together like this, right? This, just think of all of that with the video we just saw now. All of that is going on inside of you, those strings, the electrical function, and then we're just going to push our hands up over our heads. And the reason I want to make sure you get your arms over your head is because this is a river. And that movement, then you twist your hands back and forth like this as you're raising them. We're going to go way up and get all of that fluid movement. Think about that packed tissue that's there. We want to get that up and to the side and wiggle your hands so that your hands are leading you. Let your hands, whatever direction they want to go and however they want to come, just move that. Make sure you get your arms up like this and twist them. So incredibly valuable, led by your hands. Just led by your hands. Let our hands lead us in that fascial flow. And our breath. And our breath. Movement. Now you can imagine what it would be to music if we just allowed ourselves to have these moments with our own tissue. Cross your hands on your chest, over your heart. Let's move them up to our eyes. And I love using this part of my hand to pocket my eyes. Just care for myself. Move. Move. Touch your own face. Draw your hands back down to your heart. Take a deep breath. Feel how your fascia is moving under your hands. And then end by just placing your hands over your belly. And collect yourself. And then we sit down. Back to earth. So thank you for a wonderful session. Any closing comments, ideas, reactions? Everin, did you like this one?
Yes, I like it, and I think I have to do all of that because I can use some hydration. So it's inspiring to know that things that we hear all our life have a reason now. well, an explanation why I should have been doing it more.
Right. Another explanation.
Yeah,
Right.
another.
Another explanation.
Yeah, I really, I really enjoyed this. And Don and Diane say thank you. And they said yes when you mentioned you guys met. So just saying what they meant.
Well, let's keep connected and
Thank you
yep,
very
through
much.
the World Water community. I love it. Bless us all. We'll see you again in a month, right?
In a month.
Yes, in a month.
Okay.
Thank you for being here, everybody.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Gina.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.